Yeah, I don't like the term black owned. See, it's like I'm becoming a mouthpiece of saying things that people know they want to say, but they just don't say it for whatever reason. Here we are in 2026, and we're still using the term black owned, but we believe there's equality. If there was equality, we wouldn't be using the term black owned. And I'm not speaking from the minds of white people. I'm talking about speaking from the minds of black people too. How people think. Even as a so-called black person in America, even you got the mindset of a so-called white person. If that's, I mean, we're just putting things in a box, guys, the way they're put in a box. Okay, so I understand, but fundamentally, we can understand why that term is said, because if everything is white and you see one black thing, then it makes you think, wow, a black person owns this, right? And I mean, if you were French and you were in France and all these French owned businesses and somebody was German and it would say a German owned restaurant, oh, wow, German owned, well, maybe one of the French people they've been looking for a German owned restaurant. So don't get me wrong. It can be looked at from both sides. It could be a good thing and bad thing. But from the perspective of America, the term black owned, I don't know. I don't like that term, because if we were equal, why does it matter what color the person is who owns the business? I will tell you guys this. I don't want to keep this long. When I used to be driving around clients in Las Vegas, white folks, right? And let's say you went to a certain casino that wasn't on the strip. Maybe it was Aliante, right? Or maybe it was Preem or something like that. Someplace off the strip. I remember, the white clients, they wanted to know, who owned this place. So it's not from the perspective I'm saying white people are so worried about it. Some places black owned. No, white folks be worried about who's owning the place regardless. I used to say to myself, man, why can't you just enjoy yourself tonight? Why you gotta be concerned about who owns the place? Like, why is that so important to people about who owns the place? Because whoever owns it, I'm pretty sure they're knee deep in work, hard work. Because when you own your own business, you got to work every day. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They think an owner is just I don't even know, rich person sitting around somewhere. I don't know. I mean, you got people out here like that, but for the most part, most business owners are very busy. But so yeah, when I used to drive around white clients in Las Vegas, 1 second, y'all, they always wanted to know who owned what. That was always a concern. They just couldn't enjoy themselves. Who owned it? Who owned this place? Take them to a restaurant. Who owned this restaurant? Like, why is that so important to people? Is that going to change the way the flavor of your chicken tasting tonight or something or what? But anyway, guys, just to close it out. Like the term black owned, let me tell you guys what it like comes across to me. In America, it comes across as like black people are not smart enough to own their own business. And when one breaks through the barrier, it's like, wow, like, I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So Martin's like, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's a weird texture to that. Okay, especially when you advertise it. And don't get me wrong, guys. Like I said, you can look at it both ways. It can be looked at in a good way, but it just, the way it comes across to me is like black folks are not smart enough to own their own business. Now, I told you guys back in the day that the Bobby Hemmett said the reason that you don't see a lot of black ownership is because we did that for millions of years, trillions of years. We owned a lot of things. We already did that already. He said that the black people are preparing themselves to go to a whole nother level. What we see today of business and enterprises, that doesn't really like that the black that well is I would say that it's not supposed to like phase the black man like wow. Now if it does, let's say you're a black person in business and all that big business stuff like that, that's really something that makes you just say wow, you know what I mean? If you get into it, that's why I say don't give black people their own state. I say that they're burning down in 3 days, because that's not the level. They already did that already. They might the average black person in America might think that they want to be some business tycoon, but if you actually put them in that situation, they will tear it down because their soul would reject it. Again, guys, we're getting. I got to close this out. I just don't like the term black owned. It's kind of, it's a derogatory term to me. Maybe not to y'all who listening to this. Maybe to some of y'all I'm exaggerating, but just every time like, this black, oh, it's like wow, we didn't know they were smart. It's that type thing. That's the connotation I get with black owned business.